All right, so this is my Sunday. Been off work since last Thursday, and this is the first time I'm picking you guys up and picking this camera up, just to reflect a little bit. It was supposed to be a celebration, right, of my birthday. Um, Amy and I, we had plans. She told me to take off last Friday, so I did. Right after work on Thursday, we packed up, and Amy and I headed to Golden Nugget Casino in Louisiana. It's about a 2.5 hour drive. We she knows how much I like to play poker, so she was like one of her surprises to me was like $450 to gamble with. And I'm not a big gambler. I don't like to gamble much because I hate losing money. My idea is let's win money, right? If I'm going to play, but so I don't like high stakes stuff. I don't like to play high level. But she gave me $450. That it's just basically entertainment money. That's the way I looked at it because a couple of our friends had a free hotel room at Golden Nugget because they go to Golden Nugget often. They had two rooms free, so they took a room and we had a room, and then we just had a long night. Right? I don't think I went to bed until like maybe 4 o'clock in the morning. When you're in a casino, you don't know what time it is. You're having a good time. Well, our friends didn't go to bed till like 6 o'clock in the morning, so we turned in early. That's what us older people do, right? So that was pretty fun. I had a good time. We drive back home and realized that we asked the boys to do a few things around the house or to follow a few rules, and nothing was followed. Nothing was done that we asked. So we had to, I guess, have an adult conversation with them, right? Like to make them understand that look, you guys want to be treated like you're young adults. Jacob's 20, Xander's 16, which he's still a minor, right? So, but it just didn't go as planned. So I think about it and I'm like, back when I was a kid, I can't do that conversation with the boys. Neither one of them like it if I go back when I was a kid. They don't like me to reflect back that far. So I did my best not to go back when I was a kid. None of that would have happened. This would have been done this way. I would have followed all the rules. Well, yeah, I was a goody two shoes. Okay, I didn't have my first drink of alcohol until I was 21. I followed all the rules. That was me. Um, and it just didn't go as planned. So we get home, we have to have that conversation with the boys and with Katie, who is Jacob's girlfriend that lives here as well. She lives with us. She's been living with us for quite a while, and we had to make them understand that we need them to do certain things, right? To If you want to be a mature adult, you have to do certain things to help out around this household, right? I don't charge hardly any rent for Jacob and Katie. Xander, of course, he doesn't get charged rent. He's still in school. Um, I pay for his car insurance while he's still in school. Everything that they need is provided for in this house. We make sure that they have dinner every single night. Even if they don't want to eat our dinner, we make sure that there's enough for everybody in this house to have dinner so that everybody is fed. We keep groceries in the house. We don't ask anybody to help support that. I mean, I'd love to because, it's expensive to live, right? I'm trying to teach them some responsibilities. So I'm starting to charge them a little bit of rent, right? Which is it's minuscule compared to what they make with their paychecks. But so that was what we came home to, um, and that was an interesting, I guess, afternoon because that's when we got home. And then Amy was planning on going over to a friend's house to drink some wine with her because and catch up. They haven't talked in probably a good 8 months or so, so they were just going to do a catch up and kind of hang out for a little while. Right before she was prepared to leave, she got a text, and I'm sitting on the couch next to her, and she's like, "What?" So of course I go, "What?" And she finds out that it's her ex stepmom. Um, so from when she was like a really little child, like under 10, right? Or around 10, I don't know. Her dad was married to this lady, had Amy's two brothers are from this lady. Well, she texted Amy and said, "Your dad's in ICU. He has a brain bleed, and we don't know anything else about it." Oh yeah, and his current um, wife or common law wife was in jail at the moment. So, right, that's a big thing to take in. And Xander was kind of listening in on the conversation a little bit. He was sitting at the table eating, and he was listening to this conversation. He had taken his headphones off and was paying attention. And all of a sudden, he's like bawling. He's crying. Amy's bawling and crying, and I'm trying to figure out who do I need to go and comfort. Well, my idea was I tapped Amy on her knee, and I was fixing to get up and give her a hug. And I told her to look over at Xander, and I was like, "You should go take care of Xander." And they went over, and she didn't understand. She didn't know that he had been listening to the conversation and was panicked about what's going on with Grandpa in ICU. So after she finally figures it out, she's bawling even more because she's crying because he's hurt, and he's crying just because of the situation. It was emotional. Well, within like 30, 40 minutes, Amy's like, I'm going. She wants me to stay here because she wants to make sure that our dog Lucy is taken care of because of things that happened the night last night that Lucy wasn't taken care of properly. So I told her, okay, I'll stay. Let's see if Xander wants to go with you. And Xander had plans that night, and he ditched his plans because he did what was responsible and the right thing to do, and he wanted to be there to comfort mom, right, and to check on Grandpa. So they've been in Dallas area for, let's see, so it was Friday night, Saturday night, and today on Sunday. They're planning on driving home today. They're going to go by to the ICU again and see if there's been any change. There hasn't been a lot of change. He did say his first complete sentence last night. Amy said he said that the nurse tried to give him something to eat, and he said, "I don't want that." So that was his first full complete sentence that he said. He's been heavily sedated. We still don't really know the whole situation, so we're still kind of working it all out. Um, but yeah, it's kind of an emotional. This was supposed to be a celebration, and it became an emotional roller coaster, which we're still on. We're planning on doing my birthday dinner with the family finally tonight. However, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I gotta weigh how Amy and Xander's emotions are and just kind of get a feel for the situation, which is kind of what I'm wanting to bring this up about. Um, I notice it a lot in the youth these days. Nobody really wants to read the room, right? I don't know, some of you might not understand that term, but read the room. You can't just go in with one game plan. You have to be able to make a change of a course. You can't go in and say, this is exactly what's going to happen no matter what, because when you get into whatever situation you're in, things can change just like that. And for me personally, I want myself to reflect on it and think about where I see this happen daily in my work life, right? Things change. A wrench gets thrown into the program, and everything goes to shit, right? Well, you got to figure out how you can know that that wrench is there and still maneuver around it and make things happen, and maybe change the course, right? Change the course of your direction of how you're mentally going to approach something. And I think that the youth today, there's so much instantaneous, like, I need it, I get it, I want it, I got it kind of thing, right? We get exactly what we want. We have that instant gratification. TikTok, we have these 15-second clips, and then we go read all the comments to see what everybody said about that 15 seconds. Well, that's changing our mentality of how we need to do things in my eyes. Maybe it's not, but in my eyes, that's what I see with all the youth right now. I mean, even 30-year-olds, which to me is youth now. I'm almost to that point where I can say back in my day all the time and say, get off my lawn. And it's life is an emotional roller coaster. And if you don't learn how to navigate that, you're going to be sorely disappointed in life. And like, I don't know. It's just hard. I just want people to pay attention, to read the room and understand that things can change in a split second. Always tell your parents how much you love them. Your friends, treat them the right way. Don't end any conversations where it's just you never know what's going to happen, because like Amy's not super close to her dad, right? Like they haven't ever been super close because of things that have gone on in the past, and it's just at this moment though she realizes, oh my God, what happens if he's not around? And so she's bawling, and she's trying to be strong for her brother, and Xander. And her brother's there, and he's bawling, which makes her want to bawl, but she's trying to be that rock. She's trying to be the strong one. And I know that she's going to break down, which is why I said maybe we don't do dinner tonight. I'm not sure. We'll just see how I'm going to read the room and see how it goes. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Uh, yeah, I just wanted to pick up the camera and say that because it's a, it's been, it's been an experience. I keep telling Amy, I'm like, I understand where you're at, babe. I understand back when, like 3 years ago with my parents. I understand. It's rough. Life comes at you like a freight train, and if you're not prepared to get up out of the way, you're gonna get run over, right? I'm using way too many puns today, but yeah, I mean that's the way it is. Hopefully, you guys understand. Hopefully, Eric, when you rewatch this, you remember to read the room. That's my thing. I got to remember to read the room, guys. Read the room, Eric. That's it. That's what I got for you. I'm gonna leave this as a one taker, right, all the way down. Happy birthday to me. Uh, 47, 47, guys, and I'm still learning to read the room.